We now live in the end time. When we turn to the virus, there is something sinister at work through the virus. There's more to this than meets the eye. And we want to begin our analysis of the virus from the Quran. Nature by itself, unaided by evil people, would never target all of mankind with a virus at the same time. Something is curious here, because this virus is unusual, it is unique, it has never happened before in history that a plague or a virus has targeted all of mankind at the same time. When they planned this malicious attack on mankind, they didn't think about that. And so we can conclude, we who worship the one God and whose conception of truth comes from above, not from Parliament, and not from the Judeo-Christian Zionist alliance that's working on behalf of Israel. Our conception of truth is different, and that is that this virus could not have come from nature, unaided by evil people. And therefore this virus has come from laboratories and will continue to come from laboratories. And as a consequence, we have come to the conclusion, and we do not force our views on others. This is our view, and we should have the freedom to express our views. And this is our view, that this is biological warfare being waged on mankind. If this is biological warfare, then who is it being waged against? What is the end of this warfare? Our prophet, Allah's blessings be upon him, he prophesied. He said that the Arabs will be wiped out by plague, that they would die the way sheep die. And those who have the capacity to connect the dots, to be able to penetrate the reality of what is unfolding now, would realize that this is perhaps the beginning of what will eventually culminate with the destruction of the Arabs, prophesied by Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. And that in the same way that the Quran spoke of a shadow, Surah Al-Mursalat, بَعْدَ أَعُوذُ بِاللَّهِ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ الرَّجِيمِ انطَلِقُوا إِلَى ظِلٍّ ذِي ثَلَاثِ شُعَبٍ. Proceed now to a shadow which will unfold in 3 parts. And when we looked at political history, we spoke about Pax Britannica, and then a Pax Americana which replaced it. And then we anticipated that it will culminate, it has not as yet culminated, with a Pax Judaica. And then Britain and the United States were only there preparing the way for Israel to eventually rule the world. And so everything connected with Dajjal is marked and stamped with 3 parts. And so we are now suggesting to you, and Allah knows best, that this virus will unfold in 3 stages. We are still in the first stage. It's like a drizzle of rain, and the numbers who are dying are just few as yet. But wait, if we are correct, there are heavy showers of rain still to come, and they will shake up mankind with the numbers of people who will be dying. And then when we thought this was the worst, then the thunder showers will come, and then you will see the fulfillment of the prophecy of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ about the destruction of the Arabs. The Prophet said the time will come when a believer, in order to preserve his faith, preserve his way of life of Islam, he will have to flee to the mountainsides and to places where rain falls, and take with him some sheep and goats. And Surah Al-Kahf has informed us about that philosophy of withdrawal from society. They may turn their noses down in contempt, but we will have the last laugh, because Surah Al-Kahf is the guide. The young men fled. They fled the cities, and they stopped at the cave to rest, and that's when Allah put them to sleep. But they were heading for the remote countryside, and that's our message to you today. We don't know as yet the end, but we are anticipating that there are going to be heavy showers to come, and then thunder showers, and this may last for another few years. So what do you do? Answer, it's about time to wake up and to realize that you need to seek security and safety in the remote countryside. The virus is likely to kill millions and millions and millions. The Arabs are likely to be wiped out. Why? Because a Pax Judaica cannot replace a Pax Americana when Israel is so small and the world is so big. Either Israel must grow as big as the United States, or the world must become significantly smaller. Which would it be? Our view is that the world is going to become significantly smaller, and therefore the virus has come to aid and to assist the passage from Pax Americana to Pax Judaica. Before we proceed further, our Prophet said, Allah's blessings be upon him, he said, if a plague takes place and you are located in that place where the epidemic is taking place, he said, don't leave. And if you are outside that area, don't enter. Today it's called quarantine, but our Prophet gave it to us 1400 years ago. If you are outside, don't enter, and if you're inside, don't leave. But he never said, shut down the market. He never said, stop people from working, earning their livelihood. He never said, cause the economy to collapse. He never said, shut the masjid. Yes. We have in the world today two kinds of people. You have those who have eyes and can see, and the rest are sheep. And so life must continue. With whatever precautions we can take, life must continue when an epidemic takes place. You don't stop visiting people who are ill, who've caught the virus. You don't stop visiting them, going to them, giving them food, taking care of them. They need water to drink. You don't stop doing that because you're afraid to catch the virus. Because our Prophet said, as only a prophet could speak. But who cares today for what Muhammad ﷺ said? Who cares today? Everybody have more knowledge now because the government tells them what to do. The World Health Organization tells them what to do. And they don't care two peanuts for Muhammad. Allah's blessings be upon him. He said that if you die from the virus, from the plague, while you are there not flying, not fleeing, not hiding, not trying to save yourself from death, he said you'll die as a shaheed, as a martyr, and you'll therefore enter into heaven without any accounts. But today, it seems as though we want to run away from heaven. And so life continues when an epidemic takes place. And only governments which have less knowledge than two peanuts, who don't know where the virus is going, where it's taking, they come with all their fancy footwork, telling us do this and do that and do the other. Do not allow the economy to collapse. We notice with admiration that Imran Khan, Prime Minister of Pakistan, realized the necessity of maintaining the economy. And he has defied the World Health Organization. And he has succeeded in keeping the Pakistani economy alive, above surface, while Tunisia has collapsed and Tunisia is now borrowing and borrowing and borrowing more. When you allow the economy to collapse, and then you have to go to the World Bank and the IMF and other lenders to borrow more money, you're tightening the rope around your neck. But our Prophet, Allah's blessing be upon him, gave us rights that Allah has given to us. That we have the right to earn our livelihood. And no government should have the right to deny a human being the right to earn his livelihood. But we need thinkers who can challenge governments at this time.